The $450 million Mirage, the unmaking of the Salvator Mundi, $450,300,000. Say it out loud. It is a number that defies comprehension, a figure so vast it seems to exist only in the realm of fantasy. That is the price paid in 2017 for the Salvator Mundi, a painting purported to be the last known work by Leonardo da Vinci. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated spectacle, a thunderclap in the hallowed halls of the art world. But the true story of this painting is not a tale of miraculous discovery. It is a parable of belief, money, and the fragile nature of truth in a market where the price of a masterpiece is determined less by pigment and panel and more by the sheer force of collective will. The painting's journey from obscurity to global icon is the stuff of legend, or perhaps a carefully constructed myth. In 2005, it was a wreck, a heavily overpainted panel bought for a mere $1,175 at a Louisiana auction. It was a sleeper, a term used for a work whose true value is yet to be recognized. But the awakening of this sleeper was not a quiet, scholarly affair. It was a high-stakes, multi-million-dollar gamble. The restoration, led by Diane Dwyer Modestini, was a heroic effort, peeling back centuries of grime and clumsy overpainting. Yet, it is here, in the restorer's studio, that the first serious questions arise. Critics, including the filmmaker Ben Lewis, argue that the restoration was so extensive it amounted to a recreation, turning a damaged historical object into a kitsch concoction. The most damning detail concerns the hand of Christ raised in blessing. During the cleaning, a ghost of a second thumb, a pentimento, was discovered, a sign that the original artist had changed his mind, which is powerful evidence of an original work. But by the time the painting was unveiled, that second thumb had been painted over, erasing a crucial piece of evidence in the name of aesthetic completion. But the most compelling argument against Leonardo's authorship is not found in the brushstrokes, but in the physics of the painting itself. Leonardo da Vinci was not just an artist, he was a scientist, a meticulous observer of the natural world. His notebooks are filled with studies on optics, light, and refraction. Yet, the crystal orb Christ holds in his left hand, the Mundi, is painted with an impossible transparency. It acts like a simple glass bubble, showing no distortion, no inversion, of the robes behind it. A solid glass sphere, or even a hollow one filled with water, would refract and magnify the fabric in a way that Leonardo, the master of optics, would have known intimately, and, crucially, depicted accurately. For the painting's defenders, this is a conscious artistic choice, a miraculous effect. For the skeptics, it is a fatal flaw, a sign that the artist was a talented copyist, perhaps one of Leonardo's assistants like Giovanni Antonio Boltraffio, but not the master himself. The controversy was deliberately muted in 2011 when the painting was given its official imprimatur at the National Gallery in London. It was included in a landmark Leonardo exhibition, a move that instantly conferred legitimacy, but the legitimacy was built on shaky ground. Ben Lewis revealed that a 2008 meeting of 5 top Leonardo scholars to view the painting resulted not in a consensus, but a split decision, 2 for, 1 against, and 2 abstentions. Even more troubling, one of the world's foremost Leonardo experts, Carmen Bambach of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, later stated that her opinion, that the work was mostly by a pupil, was misrepresented by the painting's sellers to suggest her full endorsement. The National Gallery, an institution of public trust, had effectively acted as a marketing arm for a private sale, a decision that remains a stain on its reputation. The final act of this drama is perhaps the most telling. In 2017, the Salvator Mundi was sold for that staggering sum to an anonymous buyer, later revealed to be an agent for Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The painting, meant to be the centerpiece of the Louvre Abu Dhabi, never arrived. It vanished. For years, its whereabouts were the subject of intense speculation. A $450 million ghost. The most persistent rumor places it in storage, or perhaps aboard the prince's super yacht, the Serene. The silence surrounding the painting is deafening. In 2021, the Prado Museum in Madrid quietly downgraded the painting's status in its exhibition catalogue, reattributing it from Leonardo da Vinci to attributed to, workshop of, or authorized and supervised by Leonardo. The Louvre in Paris, which had secretly examined the painting, reportedly certified it as a Leonardo, but the findings were never published, allegedly due to a dispute over the Saudi demand that the Salvator Mundi be hung next to the Mona Lisa. The price of $450 million was not a reflection of artistic consensus. It was the cost of a narrative. It was the price of a final, undisputed Leonardo, a story so compelling that the world was willing to suspend its disbelief. But the painting's disappearance, its quiet demotion by the Prado, and the lingering questions about its science and its provenance all suggest a different truth. The Salvator Mundi is not a masterpiece of the Renaissance. It is a masterpiece of the modern art market, a monument to the power of money to manufacture history. And like any good mirage, once you get too close, it simply vanishes.